a lot of talk this season about a viewership decline. Gil, you called Cap, said the viewership was there, just not by traditional standards. Well, according to the league, 2025 NBA playoff delivered its most watched opening weekend in 25 years, averaging 4.4 million viewers per game, which is up 17% compared to last year. That is just traditional linear TV metrics, Gil.
No, it's not linear TV metrics. It's YouTube metrics.
Same.
It's social media metrics.
Saying 4.4 million viewers.
Average. What does average mean?
On average.
How can you watch one game and say average?
It's all the games from
No,
opening week.
every 15 minutes it clocks it. The average of consumers watching at that time is 4.4 million across the board. So there's about 27 clocks on a game. Average. They don't show you the total. Like, like at the end of our show, there's a total. They don't give us the total to see how many total. So people believe that this game, only 4.6 million people actually watch the game.
Yeah.
That's not actually the case.
Well, according to the league, most watched game was Magic Celtics on ABC on Eastern, which drew 6.69 million viewers.
Magic Celtics.
Average?
It just says drew 6.69 million viewers. It doesn't say what its average total.
Yeah.
Magic Celtics?
Yeah.
Magic Celtics. So was the talk about declining NBA TV ratings overhyped based on this information? Most watched opening weekend, 25 years, up 17% compared
Like
to...
I watched CBS, and CBS was like, "You think we're gonna spend this kind of money if we thought the views was down?" He said, "When we had it back in the early 2000s, we gave you the total. So the total, 19 million people watched it, right?" He says now they just do, like he said, that's why he told me to look at. He said that's why it says average. So if you look at one game and it says average, he said you clock it every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So the reports scan how many people's watching, and then they give you average. So they have like peak. It peaked at 2.9,
Yeah, for sure.
but the average 2.2. Just like our show, our average and our peak is two different things, but we have a total at the end. We never see what the total is on NBA basketball.
We do see it, though, on Gil's Arena. It is very, very high compared
So
to the rest of the
it's
game.
basically some of these shows like was it Shaq's and them show
Inside the NBA.
inside the NBA? They you could sue for misinterpretation of what the numbers are, right? If I don't want, like, let's say your show is getting 20 million total views. And you're going to be asking for a pay. I'm going to say, well, technically, you're only getting, 2.2 average. So I'm making it look like your numbers is down because I want to pay you to what I'm telling you. So basically, next year when CBS gets it, it's going to be the highest ratings ever because they're going to tell you
NBC.
NBC.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you the numbers they want you to tell you. So watch what happens next.
Peacock. Amazon also in the mix.
Smart brother.
No, I mean, it's not me. I just got the information.
I
They
still
tell me
want
what
to
to
say
look
you
at.
a smart brother.
It's not me. I just asked.
Bitch, I said you a smart brother.
It ain't me.
God damn.
It ain't me being smart. It's just asking the question. It ain't had nothing to do with me.
Well, you asked the question. You know what
Oh, I just asked the question.
We asked the
Damn,
question.
just accept what I'm telling you and I give you a
So you
compliment.
said,
But again,
all time?
Fuck.
So, most watched opening weekend in 25 years, up 17% compared to last year.
Even people watch the Cleveland game? That's crazy.
There was two people in the arena currently who may or may not have watched the game. Was it a good game? No, I'm just kidding. Shout out Ty Jerome. Did his thing.
ain't nobody watching that Cleveland series.
Just like the Super
Took a
Bowl.
nap.
Stop putting the Bucks and the Cavs on NBA TV, man.
Please.
Yeah, I ain't gonna
Bridge
front you.
game.
That's fucked up. They be putting the Cavs in, and the Bucks on NBA TV. I don't know.
Y'all can watch
That-
30 minutes of this and turn it to TNT, or hey,
They
we just
gotta
gonna put it
play
right in the middle of
Indiana
these two
next.
games.
That's just another series. Who gonna watch Cavs versus Indiana?
You mean Cavs versus Bucks?
Like I said,
How many people in the United States?
What is that total? No, hold on.
365 million people, something like that.
And the viewership is at what?
4.4 million per game average according to.
The last 25
So last
years.
Census Bureau, 340.1
So now you're about to say
In the
exactly why.
The last 25 years, has the population of the planet grown?
Yeah.
Social media grown? All right, so the numbers have grown. So the numbers now are not based on the actual numbers, it's the potential of the population. got 360 something million people, your potential of now where the population is and where it should reach based on projection, we're very low. Because 25 years ago, we didn't have this many people watching.
So 25 years, I think the total U.S. population was 282.
So we got more people.
283 million.
We got access to more shit to watch shit.
On different platforms.
And our numbers are at this. So in today's society, we would say, yeah, we're booming. But in comparison to the total projection and potential, we're definitely down in viewers.
No, we cap.
Definitely.
It's a cap. You think they're gonna spend how many billions if the actual numbers that you are getting is actually real?
Yep, because this
How many
advertising dollars spend trillions of dollars, and then the motherfuckers don't even buy shit.
See,
Trillions of dollars of advertising dollars for a $5 million ad spot on Super Bowl. Nobody buys shit from that. I spent that money on an ad. That's money just being spent. So yes, they will spend money for nothing.
I do buy Manscaped. I do buy you.
So
I use SeatGeek for my kids.
So was there
Better help
Was there
when I
smart
need some therapy.
TVs or smartphones back then? No, so how can someone track that I'm watching it on my phone?
I'll tell you.
Tell me.
There's the access point. When you enter the access point, you're tracked
By who? On YouTube?
by the computer. Whatever tracking. As I've been in television, you have tracking access. So when you have the traffic that's moving in, just like a sensor, beep, beep, beep. They weren't back then tracking how long you were watching. Because they couldn't have. Right? Because it's cable boxes. It's how many cable boxes were in households. That's how we was trying to figure out the metrics. How many boxes in a household and how many people could potentially be watching this show at this time? That was the potential number. Now they have better metrics, better technology to say this person was watching for 15 minutes, this person was watching this person was watching this. But we have way more people now. So why are the numbers low? It should be more people watching this. We have 360 million people in the United States.
Well, a lot of them watching illegally too, though.
Of course.
Now, see, that's the goal.
It's called apps.
It's called the goalpost. Because legally and then watching it on all the available apps is not illegal. It's an app. You can go to the app and pay and watch. But the numbers are still low.
Because I go to
Because the TV cable, because TV cable's only tracking what they're getting. They're not tracking YouTube. They're not tracking illegal. They're not tracking overseas. So yes, the numbers in America on regular cable TV is down compared to before because there's 400 other access points that they don't track. But when I'm talking about paying something, I'm tracking all of it because I want to see the whole footprint. So when Wemby played and 1 million people watched it here, they're not giving us the numbers from his country.
They're telling you the amount of people who should have been watching.
It's not should have been, it's what they...
No, the access is should have been. You got 1 million people that were watching.
So 300...
The access to people who should have been watching was 20 million.
I don't even know
but
what he's
only 1 million people were watching. Why? That means viewership is down.
I don't even know what you're arguing at this point. Do you even know how to
It should be higher. People don't want to see it.
But don't you have other apps?
People want to see
People
this.
don't want to see it. That's why
Every
people
goddamn
don't
bar
want
I
to see
go
the
to is-
product.
Can I
They
ask you a
have
question?
reasons for not wanting to see it. We've been talking for the last 6 months about
so
why
many
the product
goddamn
looks
bet
bad.
apps.
I know. Per TV, how many people are counted per TV in the United States of America for access? Because they can't tell if you're watching it. So how many people, this TV right there, how many people is watching this TV if the game is on? Because they can't tell how many people's actually watching it, so they have to go off of a credit.
You have to go off of probability. How many?
So what is the probability?
Average people in a household.
3.
That's the number.
Okay,
to go
so
off
every
of.
TV you have in your household is counted for 3 people watching.
3 people watching, and then you go from 3 to 5, 3 to 7. You can then you extend the number. If you don't like the 3 number, just extend it.
So basically, for this household, almost 100 people are watching the game.
Why would
If my
100
TV
people
is
be
on.
in my household? That's not realistic.
Because it goes off of TV.
We're just talking about household. It's not 100 people in my house.
The household is the TV. They go off of TV, man.
But 100
I've
people are
already
not
asked
in
this
my
question.
house, bro. I got 7 people in my house. Only 7 people are watching it.
How do they know how many people?
What if I'm
metric
at a
is-
bar and the TV's on
it's
there?
the
It goes off of TV. Rick.
Average
So if you
people
have a
in that
bar that
house.
has 300 people in there, but you got 7 TVs,
Yeah,
only
like-
21 people is counted. It's an average
We're
of.
talking about households. Even if you had multiple TVs, you're still adding the TVs per house. 7 people, 7 people, 7 TVs, 7, 7, 7, 7.
3. Where are you getting 7 from? It's
Just
3
counting
TV.
per household, per
It's
TV.
per TV, 3
per
people.
household, per TV.
It's not
yes.
per house, it's per TV. And the average of TVs have went up. That's why in the Super Bowl they can say, 50 million people. But if you ask the runners there, that many people didn't watch the actual Super Bowl, nor did they watch the what's the name?
The halftime show?
show. It's all inflated numbers. You can't actually track it. It's not real. I've had
So if
these
it's
real
not real,
conversations.
then the viewership is down.
And Nielsen rating, I think you have to have a
If
certain
the
box
numbers
rating.
are not
Yeah,
real,
it's-
that means
Nelson
that
is a box.
that it's
Like,
worse
I've
than
had-
it is.
You're just.
That means that it's worse if it's not real.
I've
That
actually
means it's
had
worse.
these conversations with these people, so I got a better sense of how it actually works.
So why is it not in the public that it's working the way you've had conversations? Why are we not reading blogs and publications talking about the real numbers? Why are the
Can I
numbers
ask you a
being
question?
hidden?
As a businessman, Dan,
the fuck? I don't
if you're
understand
NBC, would you be paying how many
I'm
billion?
about to say, you know,
Like a
still
70
people getting-
Would you have to pay
75
$70 billion for
Well,
these
that was
numbers
split,
to be
split
paid?
between the networks, 11-year, 70.
We're going to go off of what you've been saying. Would you pay, if you're NBC, that kind of money
Where are
for
the
these
real
terrible
numbers? Where are the real numbers?
I'm just asking you a question.
Oh, I just asked the
Would
question.
you pay?
Where
seven-
are the real
No,
numbers
would
so I
you
can
pay-
answer the question?
Would you pay the numbers you've been getting?
No,
the numbers
those
is
are
down.
not the real numbers I've been getting. Those are probable numbers. I said potential, projection.
Okay, would you pay $70 billion
I
for
need to
probable?
know what the real numbers are.
Okay.
Right? Just like you said. So if y'all got the real numbers, why they not out here? If you got the real conversation and all the shit that's the answers, why they sent it to ESPN and say, these are the real
So,
numbers?
reported 11-year, $76 billion deal between the networks.
Now, would you pay it if the numbers is down? You just bought it.
Where are the numbers?
I'm
I'm
asking-
paying for potential.
I'm
I'm paying for potential.
And the potential is it's been going down.
I know where viewership should be, how many people should be watching. I'm paying, that's an investment. I'm paying for the potential. I know the numbers aren't here. We got to work to get them there. We're down right now.
Yeah, so in the last 10 years,
So
it's been
now
going
if I-
down. Why would you
It don't
pay
go-
this
yeah,
kind
it
of
don't
money?
go
There's
like
no
that.
market
It don't
for it,
go
and I
like
know
that.
when it goes up, I'm
don't-
going to pocket.
No.
This is a wide open market. Why wouldn't I do this? It's a
You're-
perfect investment.
You're going to pay
That much
3
though?
times as much, and the number's been going down for the last 20 years.
And all I got to do is make the numbers go up for my pockets to go shoot triple? What are you talking about?
Or maybe you're just not getting the real numbers and they're paying for what they're getting. They're paying for the social media stuff. They're paying for this. Like, we can all talk about football and say football is okay because football know how to use their numbers. They know how to get their numbers off. But when you talk about the social media landscape where everything is digital now, who is the big dog in reality? Are you saying the football players? Are you saying they're more popular than the NBA players?
Did they announce that the football numbers
the
are
biggest
down?
the biggest
Did
two
they announce football numbers are down?
No, they said they're up.
They didn't.
And they said they're up.
But somehow we're more visible. We don't
I'll
wear
let you
helmets.
finish.
And we don't have
So-
two contracts.
NFL regular season viewership for 2024 saw a slight decrease,
Because
but 17.5 million viewers per game, 2.2% drop.
17 what?
17 million.
In comparison to who?
They're showing their what?
In comparison to who? 6? Would you say 4? What we at?
But that was just an opening weekend of the NBA
Can
play.
you give us those same
There
numbers?
was 4.4 million, I think, per game
17
average.
million and exactly what? What are they telling you? Is that the average or is that the total?
What is the NBA not telling us? It ain't
They're
what
giving,
they are
they're giving us
telling
the average.
It's what the NBA
they're not
not
giving us
telling
the total, sir. That's what I've been saying. The biggest two NFL stories this year, what were they?
Kendrick Lamar.
Huh?
Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. And what was before that?
Beyonce at
Christmas?
for Christmas.
So y'all gonna lie like that.
No,
Taylor
you
Swift
give us a better
also.
story.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen,
What about it?
Patrick Mahomes.
That was the biggest stories?
Yes.
No.
Who was it?
Who won MVP?
Josh Allen?
All right, that's not a big story. Who was supposed
That's
to win
the
MVP?
I said the biggest
Who was
story.
supposed to win
I
MVP?
said the biggest stories.
All right.
Nah,
Who lost the Super Bowl?
I said the biggest stories.
Patrick
Who lost the Super Bowl?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. How many did he win in a row?
3, right? 3.
No, that's your story. I'm talking
No,
about
he won.
worldwide.
A lot of stories out
Only
there,
one.
bro.
I said the biggest
A
story.
lot of stories.
What was the biggest story? The biggest stories was Beyonce playing at the halftime of Christmas. Do we know who played that day? Did we see any highlights of the game? No, we
It
do.
was some
Well,
trash.
I'm a football
game.
fan, so
Okay,
It was
so
some trash
Joe,
game.
don't do that. You
It was.
can't do that.
Watch the game.
He's trying to cook. You can't.
No,
I-
it
I'm
was
not
some
trying to
trash
cook.
game.
Trying to eat while he cooking.
I'm talking
was
about,
Lamar
and then
Jackson
the biggest
Texas. That was
social
trash.
media stuff was Drake not getting, or Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl bid.
Yep.
That was the Super Bowl run this year,
Man,
right?
that's just y'all scrolling the timeline, seeing what's hot. Y'all not watching in real time what's going on. That's just seeing who clicking, who liked this shit the most, who said this, what's the soundbite, what's the headline. That shit wasn't the hot shit. Football was football. We talked football. We weren't talking about none of that other
football
shit.
is football.
Everybody who watched football was
sitting right here.
talking football. bro.
We were sitting right here talking about the Kendrick
That
Lamar and Drake.
had nothing to do with football. That was
know.
music. That was a 6-month beef.
The biggest
What are you
football
talking about?
stories didn't have nothing to do with football. You said it correctly. The reason football Super Bowl is so big because they get bigger stars that overtakes the Super Bowl. When we talk about the Super Bowl itself,
It was trash.
the icons of the Super Bowl is the person who's performing. Usually the Super Bowl performance actually weighs Super Bowl.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Beyonce, the titty falling out with Janet Jackson. That you can't remember the game
I
itself.
don't remember played that.
If we asked you who played that game, you would not fucking remember this. You remember the titty came out.
I don't.
Nick,
Of course not.
I don't.
it's cool.
Dude,
Nick, it's
when Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl,
What was the biggest? What was the big? 24 hours later.
What is Sunday known for?
football.
Isn't Sunday posted to church?
It is.
Guess what it ain't no more.
Well,
Guess what it
still
hasn't
church.
been?
Football.
Guess what it hasn't been for quite some time? Sunday belongs
Football.
to a sport. I don't give a fuck if it's Super Bowl Sunday, primetime Sunday, sexy Sunday. Everybody tuning in on Sunday for 16 straight weeks. My favorite team is playing. Super Bowl has a lot of value, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of value.
You said it has a lot of value.
A lot of value.
Okay, so who's the biggest star at the Super Bowl this year?
Patrick Mahomes.
Nah, it was,
Kendrick Lamar.
it was the running back.
It was the kid.
Kitchen.
That nigga-
Nobody even talked. Nobody even talked about Jalen. Jalen Hurts won. Nobody talked about that in the last the 48
What
minutes.
atmosphere are you
trash.
in where people
This was
are talking?
trash
Are
this
you in the atmosphere where
I
you
was
with a
hot,
bunch of
bro.
black people talking about nigga shit? Are you talking about football
Ain't
with
black?
football fans?
Ain't
Where we're
black?
talking about football.
See, that's the
We're
problem.
talking about Josh Allen,
that's-
Lamar Jackson. We're talking about who played Saquon Barkley. How he ain't win nothing. How he did. We're talking about football.
See,
We're
that's
not
your
talking about what.
Kendrick.
Black
Hey,
fellas
that's
talking
not
about
watch football.
That's not the draw.
Did you watch football?
Yeah, I watched it.
But dude, see, he's talking about football. I'm talking about world, which means as people who do not just watch football and you're watching the world of it, what is the topics of it? See, if you're just watching your football, then you think football was popping. If you're watching the world, then you would know what topics the world was talking about. The world itself, 48, 72 hours after the Super Bowl, there was only one person being called out. There was only one topic running through social media. That was Kendrick Lamar the whole time. This whole football thing, Kendrick Lamar, Drake.
Say
Nobody talked about either Patrick Mahomes losing as a global topic, and nobody talking about Jalen Hurts winning his Super Bowl as a global topic. Maybe in your hood, when you was watching football, maybe that was it.
Pat McAfee has a TV show. All right? A lot of niggas tune in to Pat McAfee. Guess what they was doing for those 2 days, 3 days after?
Pat McAfee, the
They
football
was
show.
talking about football.
A football
That's a
show
show
talking about
where you-
football. Okay.
If you tune in, you gonna hear football shit. If you don't watch football shit, guess what you tuning into? non-football shit. You're not gonna hear it. That's why everybody was talking about other shit, because you ain't in the football.
Getting confused.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're not a football
Where we
player,
at
what
with
is
this?
coming into your brain? I'm trying to tell you,
OnlyFans.
world, the number one
Let's get to
top
the
50 million.
You keep saying football shows. I'm talking about, we're a basketball show. Did we talk about the football or did we talk about the
It's too
rap? And we're not a rap show. Which topic did we touch in a Super Bowl? Did we talk about the Super Bowl performance as a sports show? Did we talk about the sport, or did we talk about the topic?
I mean, you can't
You
even
asked
talk
the
about
topic
it.
creator because
Huh?
we
We
should
can't
have
even
been
talk
talking
about
about.
What did we talk about? They not like us. They not like us. That was you, right?
Yep.
No, that was him.
That was you, right?
That was him.
On a football
He creates
on
the
a
topic.
sports
I
show.
don't create the
On
topic.
a sports show, football
Man,
is
we all
sports, right?
came in here
What
talking
I'm
about
saying-
Kendrick Kill.
As a sports show, we talk sports, but what did we talk?
Ask him. It puts the shit on the ticker.
So does Shannon Sharp?
You know how big it is when a casual fan talks about it, not the direct fan.
Does Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, do they talk about football on their show
Yeah, they talk about football all the time.
more than everything else, or do they talk about football more?
They talk about football when it's a topic. When the topic guy says, this is what we talk about tonight.
The host
The
of
they're
topic
but
guy
they're football-
said,
but
more than a
This
topic.
is what we're talking about.
Executive producer.
We don't
too.
control it.
And what do
that out there.
and what do you go off of?
You have to throw it.
Hold on. No. I like
Executive producer too. More than
and-
topic
and-
guy, but
But where do you get yours? It's the stuff that's trending, right?
Man.
what's trending and being discussed.
Oh wait.
Talk to mainstream media.
Hey, so what's trending and being discussed? So after
also
the
hit Super Bowl topics as well.
So after the Super Bowl, there was a champion, and he's going off of what's trending. And we talked about what again? What was trending worldwide?
Can we all just
Exactly.
get a...
For our audience as well, though. Every show is different, though.
What did Rodney King say? When they was whooping his ass.
Can we all, when he was doing that while he was getting his ass whooped?
Yeah, fool.
He said it after the ass whooping.
I thought he was
Post-ass.
saying ouch. Ouch, nigga, that hurts.
Let's move on to Mostly Fans. Presented by the good folks at Underdog. Download the Underdog app. Use promo code GIL.